We appreciate the opportunity. We're glad to be here today with Mr. Hendren to discuss and present a scholarship opportunity. They keep telling us, don't say scholarship. It is fully funded, 100%, but they say leadership. It's because indeed a leadership opportunity for youth. To introduce myself, my name is Amiral Ibrahim. I'm the Senior Program Manager at Amideast, based in Erbil office. I'm joined by my colleague today, Mr. Hendren. He's the Program Officer, and he's the guy to go to for this, like questions, comments, issues, problems. Hendren will be there to help you. So as Mr. Ivan said, we're here to talk about tomorrow's leaders and the graduate program. It's basically a 4-year leadership program, fully funded. It's for youth from all over Iraq and from the Middle East as well. So we will be talking about, okay, so on this slide, we have some background information about tomorrow's leaders. The Tomorrow Leaders program is an opportunity that gives students the degree granting at a university level. That's a bachelor degree program. The universities that will be accepting students are institutions that are recognized and accredited in the United States. And we will be talking more about the host universities, but they are American-style universities based in the Middle East. We will give you the names in a bit in the other slides. The program, Hendren, if you could go back, please. The program itself, this leadership program, it's important to mention that it is sponsored by the U.S. Department of State, Middle East Partnership Initiative, MEPI. So they are providing all the funds, all the sponsorship, they're covering everything for students who get selected. Of course, the funds come from the U.S. government. And Amideast is a non-for-profit organization headquartered in Washington, D.C., with field offices in a dozen countries in the Middle East and North Africa, and of course in Iraq as well. We have had the pleasure and the honor to be working with the U.S. Embassy on their behalf, on behalf of MEPI, on behalf of the U.S. Department of State, to do the recruitment and promotion for those programs. Our role basically is to tell people that this program is here, this program is accepting students, and other than just promoting it, then assisting and supporting the applicants throughout the application process with questions. If they have any issues with the system, we will be here to help. All right, so the objective or the purpose of the Tomorrow's Leaders program, as the name indicates, is to help build a group of young leaders for the future of this country who are civic-minded, and we're hoping that they are civic-minded already. If not, the program will definitely help them with being civic-minded by living and studying in a different country, meeting students from other countries, other backgrounds, other cultures. Intellectually able, yes, a program, 4 years program that will help them to have a bachelor degree program from a US accredited institution, and professional skill, because part of the program isn't just about academic studies. They will have components or parts of the program where they will be involved in professional related activities. And the hope is that in the future, they will be community or business and national leaders for this country, and not necessarily political. They can be leaders in businesses, leaders in education, in any aspect of life. All right. Ideal candidates or candidates that the Tomorrow Leader program prefers and wants to benefit are those who have the potential, who have the potential to become leaders, and that would be students who are, let's say, talented, who are open-minded, who are active at school, and who come from different parts of Iraq, like culture, religion, geographic diversity, because the program does want to benefit people who come from all over the country. And one other preference is if they are from socioeconomically deserving backgrounds, people who come from under-resourced communities. And Garmian would definitely be like one of the, let's say, the ideal locations for Tomorrow Leaders program, because the program wants to benefit people who without tomorrow's leaders, won't be able to go to those universities, those American-style universities in the Middle East, North Africa region. All right, so this is the debut of the universities that will be accepting applications. There are 3 universities that will be accepting applications: the American University of Beirut, American University in Cairo, and then the Lebanese American University. So these are photos of the campuses. For our audiences, if you're interested to see or know more, just Google the name or the acronym of the university, and I promise you will get plenty of information about them. All right, moving on. All right, so in the next couple of slides, we will be talking about the fields of study, because clearly, like, people who are here today who are interested in this program would want to know what can they study on the Tomorrow Leaders program, especially as Ms. Drivan said, like, we have university students now with us. So they want to know what kind of specialties, what kind of majors they can select on the Tomorrow Leaders program. In the next few slides, we will show you lists of acceptable fields of study at each university. Just to mention, like, from now, we're not going to like talk about each field of study. The purpose of the slides would be just to show our audiences that there are plenty of options to pick from. There are a couple of fields of study that have, let's say, notes on them, or they are, let's say, there are limitations, but overall, there are like plenty of options for students or potential applicants to choose. So, Hendran, if you're okay, I will have to, like, run to the other meeting now. You can take over the presentation now. And if I am done with the other calls, I will definitely try to come back and join maybe around the end, so I can help you with questions and inquiries later on.
Sure. Take your time, Kakamral. I'll go ahead with the rest of the slides. Sure.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Hender, and good luck. I'll be back.
Okay,
Right. Bye-bye.
So, yeah, let's go ahead with the rest of the presentation. As my colleague introduced me, and pre-introduced myself, I'm Hender Balaki from Amideast Iraq's main office in Erbil. So I'm glad to present this amazing opportunity to you today. So as my colleague mentioned, the fields of study. So the purpose of showing you the list of fields of study under each university, under the program at each university, is to show you that these fields of study and specializations are eligible, with few exceptions that I will go through later on. So let me just go back to this slide and show you that fields of study at 3 universities: AUB, AUC, and LAU. So those are the universities that the program work with. They are the select incredible American universities in the Middle East. So at AUB, starting with agribusiness to media and communications, these fields of study are available under the program. If you cannot capture the info on the screen, feel free to send an email to iraq@amideast.org. We will be able to send you a list of eligible fields of study for your reference. So again, AUB to be continued. So again, also these fields of study are also available under the program. And the second university is LAU. LAU has 2 campuses, Beirut campus and Byblos campus. So these fields of study that are shown on the screen are fields of study that are available in both campuses. If you notice that few of fields of study are marked with an asterisk, so those I will let you know what does that mean. So the fields of study that are available at Lebanese American University at only Beirut campus are on the left side up to translation. The fields of study that the only field of study that's available under the program at Byblos campus is nursing. So as mentioned, this program only funds 4 years of study. So fields of study that exceed the 4-year period of time are not eligible, with the exception of few fields of study, which are pharmacy and architecture. But on a condition, so I'll let you know what the condition is. So the condition is, if any student wants to study architecture or pharmacy, those fields of study are only available at LAU, with on a condition that student enters those universities to those of fields of study as a sophomore, meaning that students can enter only as second-year students. So this also means that the student should have completed the first stage at another university, which doesn't mean that credit transfer is acceptable under the program. But if the student has completed one complete year, then it makes the student so completing the first year elsewhere, and then it makes the student eligible to continue at stage 2 at LAU. So also these fields of study that are marked with an asterisk, so I'm just went back to the previous slide. So these fields of study need an SAT or ACT. So, but this doesn't mean that applicants should worry about taking an SAT or IBT TOEFL in the beginning. So because language tests are not immediate requirements of the program. It's important for us to let you know in the beginning, because many students may stop working on their online applications for thinking that they may be ineligible for not having a language score. So the second university, American University in Cairo. So the shown fields of study are fields of study that are eligible under the program. I'm putting down our email address in the chat box. Okay, just so you can reach out to us if you have any questions about the program at any stage, or if you, for example, if you want a list of eligible fields of study or program information or eligibility criteria or the application process. So we are here to get back to your questions always. Yes. Okay. So again, as we mentioned in the beginning, this program should not be understood only as an academic, an opportunity to pursue your academic studies, but this is also a cultural exchange program. So Tomorrow's Leaders program makes available other opportunities such as civic engagement opportunities, internship programs, professional development programs as well as an opportunity to study abroad in the US for 1 semester. So this is an additional component to the program, but I will let you know, I will elaborate more on this in the next slide. Yeah, so starting with the financial coverage, and then I will brief you again about the additional components in this slide. So you may be asking what the program covers, what are the benefits of the program, and what are the financial coverage? What is the financial coverage for the program? So full tuition coverage, maximum, as mentioned before, a maximum of 4-year academic years. Health insurance, you will be insured, and God forbid if something happens to you while you are on the program, then the program will cover the costs of your medical expenses. Housing, there will be somewhere for you to stay, such as a dormitory or any other sort of accommodation or different housing options. you will be getting a monthly living allowance. So that allowance will be more than enough for you to cover your expenses for 1 month, and a 2-yearly round trip ticket from your home country to the host university and then back to your home country. So as mentioned before, civic leadership and career-oriented workshops and internship opportunities and any other additional component will be are still part of the program, as mentioned in the previous slide, along with an opportunity to study abroad in the US. But because of COVID, these additional components, including US study abroad, may be impacted. So it's contingent upon situations that time. If situations permitting, then you definitely can submit such a request, and it should be approved by NEPI, by the program. And then again, the expenses will be covered by the program. So in this slide, you can find many frequently asked questions. So those questions are on the minds of applicants. Who is eligible to apply? So 3 groups of students are eligible to apply, or 3 groups of individuals. Starting with high school graduates, meaning that 12th grade graduates of last year, 2020, and 12th grade graduates of this year, of 2021, and as well as current high school seniors. So these groups are the only 3 groups that can apply for the program. The applicant must be Iraqi, and dual citizenship is acceptable. For example, if an individual is Iraqi national and having Iraqi nationality with this citizenship of a second country is acceptable, with the exception of US citizenship, because US citizens are not eligible to apply for the program in Iraq. Another requirement of the program is that the program would like to consider students with strong academic backgrounds, which doesn't mean that there's a GPA requirement, a certain GPA requirement, but still applicants with strong academic backgrounds are preferred. English language proficiency is another requirement. Applicants are expected to be proficient in English in a way to be able to get 55 of IBT TOEFL, which is equivalent to 5.5 of IELTS, and it's equivalent to at least 481 of ITP TOEFL, which doesn't mean that students should worry about the IBT TOEFL in the beginning. So the lack of IBT or not being able to present, to upload an IBT score does not affect your applications. So applicants can submit an application with or without a TOEFL or SAT score in the beginning. The absence of those scores will not negatively affect your applications. If you are shortlisted and if your application is selected for further consideration, then you will be required to take the TOEFL test and any other tests required by specific schools, specific universities that you're intended to be admitted there. At that time, you don't have to pay for those tests, as the test fees will be covered by the program. Another requirement of the program is maturity, flexibility, and leadership potential. As clear to you that the program always encourages the development of leadership skills. So program would like to consider candidates with strong leadership backgrounds. Also, applicants are expected to be mature and flexible, meaning that applicants will be meeting different people from different backgrounds, from different cultures, customs, and traditions. So it's important to adapt and accept others, irrespective of the differences, and respecting people with different backgrounds. So this is what's called flexibility and maturity. Okay, another requirement of the program is holding a high GPA if you become a program grantee. So I'm not talking about a GPA requirement in the beginning, but if you are confirmed to be a finalized nominee for the program, and if you get a grant, and then when you start your studies at one of those universities mentioned, then you will be required to maintain a high GPA to be considered as a TL program recipient. So another requirement is that you are required to be able to start the program in August 2022. So it should be clear to you that we are doing the promotion for the program now. So November 2021, and the deadline is December 6th, but the selected candidates will depart in August 2022. So this is somehow a long process. Applicants are required to be patient, to stay patient, and to sit for different exams, to attend an interview, to attend an orientation, and then a few other more deadlines and commitments. So this is a tentative application timeline. So the deadline is December 6th, 2021. We kindly request that all applicants who would like or who already have started an application, those who are having an in-progress application, complete their applications before the deadline. And please do not procrastinate and wait until the end, because you may be editing your online application, your essays, and going over your supporting documents many times. And the online system is like any other online system. You can log in and log out many times. So you'll be given opportunity, you'll be able to edit your application many times. So for that reason, it's always good to start early and submit before the deadline. And it's likely that the few days or one day before the deadline, the system may get overloaded. Then it's always good to be early. So by February 2022, the application review will be finalized, and selected candidates will take ITP TOEFL, and then following that, there will be an interview for successful candidates. I would like to brief you about ITP TOEFL, because we just mentioned IB TOEFL, which is a different type of TOEFL. So ITP stands for Institutional Testing Program, which is a non-official type of TOEFL. We invite all successful candidates after the screening, December 6th, 2021. So we invite successful candidates, selected ones, to take an ITP TOEFL at Amideast offices in Erbil, in Baghdad. And then, so this type of exam is an unofficial one. It's only required to show your English language capabilities. But if you pass the interview, and then you will be required to take an official type of TOEFL, which is IBT. So we will be taking care of registering candidates and paying for the program will pay for the expenses related to test registrations. So this will be taken care of by March 2022. So because the reason that you need IBT or probably SAT because the universities definitely need an IBT, and certain universities may require SAT. So by April 2022, university admissions will be announced. And in May 2022, the few candidates, so I'll explain which candidates need to take EL supplemental course. And what is EL supplemental course? So EL supplemental course, English language supplemental course, is an English course which is specifically designed for those candidates who are very strong academic fit for the program, but their English language proficiency is a bit lower than what is required by the program. So maybe in the end of the day, there will be candidates out there with very strong and outstanding applications, but they need to improve their English language skills. So the program will take care of that as well, to provide them with English language courses, and the expenses will be again paid by the program. But I'd like to clarify to everybody that those courses will be taken by the candidates at home country before they depart. And before the departure, in August 2022, there will be a pre-departure orientation, which we call the PDO. It will provide the selected candidates with enough guidance, and for example, what to do before departure, what to do on campus, what to expect, how to handle homesickness, culture shock, probably if it happens to candidates. Yeah, so this is a very important slide about what an online application should include. So it's very important that applicants complete their online applications properly, because applications will be, before being reviewed for quality, they will be reviewed for completeness. So for example, if you are required to upload 3 essays and your online application turns out to be missing 1 essay, then it will be considered as incomplete. Irrespective of having a very good quality, then it will be considered as incomplete. So 3 essays are required. Those essays are very important parts of your online application. They are the parts and supporting documents that make your online application different, and they will make your online application stand out, because many people can have a transcript, many people can have a CV or get a letter of recommendation from a recommender, but people are different from writing their ideas. For example, your ideas will tell the program staff how you think and how you're planning for your future goals. So the first essay is about leadership. If you're seeking guidance how to write this essay, you can search on Google as one of the resources to get to read about it. But if you want a brief information now, so I can guide you how to write those essays. So leadership essay, for that essay, you can define leadership in your view. What is leadership to you, and what leadership qualities you think are existing in you. So how those leadership qualities reflect on your everyday life, how these leadership skills will prepare you for the program and how it helps you to lead while you are on campus. So the second essay about your field of study. It's very important that you clearly express interest for a specific field of study. For example, you'd like to study computer science or biology, then you should be clear about why you would like to study one of those fields of study. Your interest should be, and for your interest, you should be listing academic reasons than a personal reason. For example, you shouldn't be mentioning, I would like to study in this field of study because I would like to go to that university, because I want to go to Lebanon, because I want to go to Egypt. So this is not acceptable. You should list your academic reasons. For example, you can say, last year I was able to come first and to win a competition on physics, and I think I have very good capabilities in physics, and I want to study physics. So for instance, this is an example. So you should be listing your academic reasons. So the third essay should be about your future goals. So as said before, this program is not only an academic program, it also lets you to socialize with people, to learn about others, to learn about different nations, tell about your culture and learn from them. So you can, for this reason, you should not limit your essay to only information about how you did at school. You can also mention your hobbies, your interests and hobbies, and extracurricular activities that you have participated, and how you have achieved your goals, and what your future goals are. And what you need to do is to link your past with your current status and with your future. Transcripts are required to be uploaded to your online application system, to your online applications. If you are currently studying grade 12, means that you have only finished grade 10 and 11. So that's why you are only required to upload your grade 10 and 11 certificates. But if you have finished grade 12, you are required to upload all of the three transcripts of grade 10, 11, and 12. If you have certificates stating that you have participated in an activity, an extracurricular activity, volunteering activity, civic engagement activity, you can upload. If you think they are related, and they will make your application look better, then you definitely are able to upload those certificates. So another requirement is supporting financial documents, such as a bank statement. I don't want to intimidate you with this requirement, because it's understandable that many people in this country do not use banks. So financial documents, irrespective of using banks or not, financial documents are documents that show the overall income and expenses of your household. Why this is important? As my colleague in the beginning mentioned, that this ideal candidates for this program are those who are unable to afford 4 years of paid education at an American-style university. For this reason, it's very important that applicants clearly show to the program that they are coming from underserved backgrounds. Because if you are coming from a well-to-do family, and if you can pay for your tuition fees, if you happen to study at a university where you have to pay, then you are not a good fit for the program and the opportunity should be given to someone else. So financial documents can be parent job verification from the employers, salary slip or verification of salaries or pensions if they are pensioner, or any other document that show income of your family, such as any income originated in a family business, such as real estate holdings, any real estate properties like a land, house, a building, farm, if you have given them on rent, or if they are a source of income for the family. On the other hand, you also need to demonstrate evidences about expenses of the household, such as medical expenses, taxes, loans, installments, education, tuition expenses of a family member. So the next requirement is either TOEFL or SAT. If you have a score in hand right now, if not, don't worry about this requirement, as it is not an immediate requirement. If your application is selected for further consideration in the next step, then you will be required to sit for both tests, and at that time the test fees will be covered by the program. Another requirement is a colored passport size recent photograph. So be careful, the photographs should be recent, they shouldn't be old, and they should be colored. And they should be passport size. Letters of recommendation 2 to 3 are required. So at least 2, but not more than 3. Letters of recommendation are letters to be written by people who know your academic capabilities and your character. They shouldn't be written by family members, parents, relatives, or friends. It should be written by a teacher who taught you, or a school principal, or anyone who knows your academic capabilities. Parental consent form, if you are under 18, is one of the requirements. So how to apply for the program? Application to the program is completely online. You don't need to visit any offices or to take a pile of documents with you to somewhere. No, you can apply anywhere. You can apply at home. You only need an internet hotspot on a laptop. It's very important when filling out your application, you choose your country correctly, because if you don't choose your country correctly, then for the program staff, when reviewing the applications, they filter out applications and tell the system, please only show me applications that are applied from Iraq. So if you mistakenly choose another country starting with I, for example, if you choose India, then Iraq staff will never, program staff from Iraq will never be able to see your application. And then you get nothing from the program. We don't even get a notification because your name will not be listed in the applicant list. So if you don't have the link, before the end of the session, I will share this link in the chat box with you. So when you click on that link, then it will take you to this screen. You simply can click on apply now, and then it will take you to this box. You can enter your credentials, login credentials if you have an account. If not, then create an account. If you click on create an account, then it will take you to this new screen. Online application for TL is very simple and straightforward, like any other online application system. So create an account. And then if you create an account, then you will be able to fill out an application and submit it. When creating an account, make sure that you use an active email. So the email you will be using shouldn't be an email that for which you have forgotten the password, or it is no more active because you have not used it, say, for 10 years, for 5 years. And it's very important that you provide a correct email and an email which you have access to, because you get all the notifications from the program via that email address. So if you have any questions anytime, feel free to send an email to iraq@amideast.org. The one that I put it down in the chat box earlier. So these are our phone numbers, and this is our email address for any questions you have. So a candidate may, a prospective applicant may be working on his online application and stuck in somewhere. Then his or she is more than welcome to even take screenshot of the online system and says, I'm stuck here. What shall I do? So even we will be there to get back to your questions. So if you have any questions about the eligibility criteria, the coverage, the online application systems, send an email to rec@amideast.org. And a mobile app for the online application is available on both App Store and Google Play. So it will be helpful for you it will let you access your online application and track it. However, to apply, usually a desktop or a laptop is more recommended, because you'll be able to gather your supporting documents there in a better way, but still the mobile app will be helpful for you to track your application. So I'm in the end of the presentation. So thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for your time. I'll be more than happy to take your questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hendren, for the informative presentation. And I would like to also thank Mr. Amiral, who took over the first part of the presentation. Thank you so much. And we would like to take questions now. We have reached the Q&A part of the session. If anyone has any questions, you can either raise your hands and we will take your question, or you can also write your question in the chat box and share it with us, and Mr. Hendren will be answering the questions. Shewa, go ahead. You can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yes, good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank all of you for your time and effort. It was great to know more about MIPI's program. My question is, can we take IELTS instead of TOEFL, or we should only take TOEFL?
No, both IELTS and TOEFL are acceptable. As we mentioned, 55 of TOEFL is required, and which is equivalent to 5.5 of IELTS. However, both tests are not immediate requirements, so don't worry about taking IELTS or TOEFL in the beginning. If your application is selected for further consideration in later steps of the program, then we will take care of registration, and the test fees will be covered by the program.
Okay, so any other questions? Yeah. Meanwhile, we can also write the website of the application.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'll put down the link in the chat box, the link to apply.
That would be great. Thank you so much. Ms. Suad would like to ask a question. Can you please unmute yourself and share your question with us?
Suad Mahmoud. I thank all of you for explaining and for giving us the information about the program. All of the points are clear, but one point I want to understand, are the students allowed to visit their family, to return to Iraq to visit their family after 1 year or 2 years Are they allowed? Thanks.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Ms. Saad, for your question.
Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. As we mentioned on one of the slides about the financial coverage, one of the benefits of the program is a round trip, a 2 times round trip on an annual basis, round trip ticket for students to visit their families. So it means 4 trips a year.
Thanks.
I will just write the highlights of the questions and the answers in the chat box.
Well done. Thanks.
Sure. So did you have any other questions, Ms. Saad?
No, thanks.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Saad. Any other one who would like to share their questions with us? If you have any questions, you can either raise your hands or you can write your questions in the chat box. Thank you so much for the website. Yes, it's great that you have shared the website in the chat box. So our attendees can visit that website and can apply.
Sure. Yeah, if anyone's mic is not working, so Ms. Van, they are more than welcome to put their questions in the chat box.
Okay, so if you don't have any question, we can end the session now. So I would like to say thank you so much, Mr. Amiral and Mr. Hendren, for the informative session today. With this, I would like to say that we have reached the end of the session. Thank you so much all for attending the session. I hope that you have benefited from the information that was shared by both Mr. Amiral and Mr. Hendren. And again, I would like to thank Amideast staff for giving us this opportunity to deliver this session to youth in Germian. Thank you so much for your time and effort. We really appreciate it. If you have any last remarks, you can share with us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ivan. Nothing more to add. I hope best of luck with anyone's application with the application process for everybody. So I hope the prospective applicants will be able to start an application soon and submit it before the deadline. And our email is in the chat box, iraq@amideast.org. So applicants are always welcome to send their questions to us.
Yeah, and even if you had trouble reaching out to the emails or the contact information of Amideast, you can also send us a message on the page, on the career development page, and we will forward the message to Amideast staff. Thank you all so much. We would like to end the session here. Goodbye, everyone. Have a lovely day. Thank you all so much.
Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Goodbye.
Goodbye.